who are your art faves?
But I mean, I'll start from the Nigerians that I know. Shout out to Shegun Samson. Shegun Samson, my G back in the day. Because like, shout out to Yinari. You likely have seen Yinari's work already.
Yeah, I have.
It's like an environment painter, but Yinari is solid. Is up there. Then Uzoma Dionko, this very senior man in the digital art space. There's Jeff Oyem. I already listed my friends: Moby, La, Olagunbiade, Isaac. Out of Isaac, the plenty people are likely to forget, but of course you know Renny K,
Yes.
Renny K,
Yes.
and Adana.
Adana.
Madam Adana.
Yes.
Respect to Adana.
Every artist deserves their flowers. Yeah, even though I didn't make it to the list, but that's fine. Shout out.
Actually, respect on that. Like when I see your work, sorry, I think of you as a. Hello everyone, I'm Liz Ogunoye and you're listening to Designstration podcast with Ufot Ubon. Design plus illustration equals Designstration.
In the realms of pixels and imagination, digital arts tell untold stories, and they create an emotional tapestry where lines and colors harmonize to innovate. And digital artists, like artists with a brush, those who craft words that goes beyond the ordinary, they deserve their crowns, they deserve their flowers. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Designstration podcast with Ufot Ubon. And today's episode revolves around digital arts. It's a huge contribution to the design industry and the contrast with traditional canvas brush artists. And joining us in this particular episode is the exceptional Liz Ogunoye, and she's a unique illustrator and a digital artist. Liz contributes her talent to Chowdeck, and her remarkable artwork indeed precedes her. And beyond sharing her digital art journey, Liz will definitely inspire aspiring illustrators to tackle their challenges heads-on and encourage them, even with her colorful and vibrant illustrations, to put in the work and look forward to pursuing a fulfilling career in illustrators. Liz, thank you very much for being on the podcast. How are you doing?
Hi. Hi, Ubon. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so honored and elated to be here. I'm chill. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm doing just fine. It's indeed it's a pleasure to have you on here. Your work does precede you. We've seen your works all over the internet.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
it's high time we had this conversation on your story. So Liz, tell us about yourself. Who is the incredible Liz that whenever we order our food from Chowdeck, there's the colorful environment. So who's responsible for that? Who's Liz?
Okay, my name is Liz, as you know. I'm a digital artist, illustrator, and graphic designer. I currently work at Chowdeck. I love reading. I love reading African fiction, especially, and I love watching animation movies and maybe teenage story or like growing story kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty much me. I like to sleep. I like to sleep a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. As you know, everyone has an inspiration for what they do and what inspired them into going into whatever they do. So for you,
Mhm.
what inspired you into digital art?
Okay. I think maybe like for like most people in my generation, we grew up watching Disney.
Hmm.
Or I don't know about everybody. Okay, let me talk for myself.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching Disney, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Princess and the Frog, Pocahontas, and the likes. And I also grew up reading Super Strikers. So I mean,
Mm.
I was drawn to it. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like, this is so nice. And then somewhere along the line in primary school, I started to draw. After like tracing off the cover of books and all of that, I started to draw. And eventually, when I got to university, I heard about digital art. And I was like, oh, this is how they make those things I used to watch growing up. And that's how I found myself learning and building my digital art skills. Yeah.
To be honest, it's surprising to hear that um, you also kind of have a starstruck when you realize, oh, this is actually how they made the comics like Super Strikers that you mentioned. Because for me
Yeah.
too, right? I mean, I would read Super Strikers, Archie, and even my book of Bible stories, but I just never
Yeah.
thought, I never really figured out how it was done. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just
Yes,
I
I
just
get you.
never figured out how it was done. It was when I also was introduced to digital art. That's when it clicked that, oh wow, so these books that I've had, that I've read, so this is
Yeah.
actually how it was done.
How they're made.
Yeah, how they're made. That's something. Do you have any specific routine that helps you get into a creative mindset?
So for me right now, where I'm at, I think the routine bit is a work in progress.
Hmm.
But some things that I do every now and then to help me get quite creative is it usually starts with something, maybe a thought, yeah, an idea, or even seeing an image on Pinterest
Hmm.
or scrolling through my Instagram or Twitter. I'm like, oh, okay. So basically, I could just classify that under research. So a research or an idea, maybe search for inspiration on a platform that I like Pinterest especially.
Hmm.
So and then when I see the image, I make an initial sketch or a draft, or maybe I like to ask myself, what do I want to get, or what story do I want to get out of this drawing? You understand?
Yeah.
And then I think it all goes normal from there. After the sketch, I draw, I ink, or maybe I do a clean line work,
Yeah.
and then I lay my colors, and that's pretty much it.
Wow. That's pretty much um that's
Yeah,
quite a process too. Yeah. It's quite a process.
yeah,
And I also see that you do both digital illustrations like the ones we would call character designs, and you also do vector
yeah.
illustrations. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
I
you do
do.
both. Have you been drawing since you were a child?
Yeah, primary school.
Primary school. Oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
you mentioned that. That's good. Did you have family members who encouraged you like into drawings as well? Or I mean, I had one auntie who I think I shared a story one time on one auntie who was angry and she wanted to tear my drawings because I think I drew Samson tearing the lion's mouth, and in
Hmm.
the original book it was colored, his hair was colored with black, but I colored
Yeah.
it with blue. So she was
Oh,
angry
okay.
that why would I do that with, why would I color it with blue, and she almost tore the whole thing. Did you have people
Interesting.
who supported you along the way and encouraged you to carry on?
So, I mean, right now, I can't really think of any. So it was nothing serious. I guess my parents even saw it as an hobby or something, as a
Hmm.
hobby. So, after like watching normal, it's normal for children to watch TV. After
Yeah.
watching TV, and then you start to draw and stuff. It's just like, oh, she has a hobby. That's pretty much it.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
on encouragement, I mean, I'd say they gave me money and I could buy stuff like sketchbook, watercolor, and the likes. But yeah, it was just
Great.
there. It was not too serious.
And all those time it never crossed your mind if you were going to pursue it as a career, or did it?
I mean, now that you mention it, I remember that in secondary school,
Hmm.
I had a friend of mine where we would make our own comics.
Oh yeah.
So like we would get plain sketchbook, staple it together,
Hmm.
maybe have a story in mind, and then would draw and color with watercolor, and then sell for maybe 100, 200 naira. I remember there was that time.
Mm.
Then I really did not think far into the future, maybe around secondary school time, because around that time the stories that you can have like a career in art. I didn't even know
Yeah,
there was a
true.
career like character design. I didn't even know there was digital art. I
Hmm.
just knew those people that would I just knew those people that would
Yeah,
draw
same
and put it
here.
by the roadside or draw on the wall, all those painters. That was all I
Mm.
knew. So maybe the most I knew was comics that at least you could draw and say you could create storybooks. Hey, I don't know if you knew all these small, small storybooks that that we used to buy
Yeah,
then. But yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty much it then. And that was pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, now that you mentioned it, I'm just thinking. I want to believe that there are kids, there are young teenagers in secondary schools as well,
Mm-hmm.
specifically within our Nigerian demographic, who probably they are
Mm-hmm.
also, they draw comics and they paint and they have groups and they
Yeah.
just do their own stuff, and they also may not even know that this can actually be a career path for them. And it just raised um, the consciousness of how can we get the message across to those folks that if you really want to pursue a career path in this, you can actually do that. It's just a thought. I,
Okay.
I, I just thought about it right now because I didn't know, right? You didn't know that this can actually be a whole full blown career. I mean, I know artists who used to draw animals and paint like for school walls and the likes of that. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, they were not very, very. It wasn't that financially rewarding
Yeah,
from what we
I,
grew up
I
to
I
know.
understand. I
And that's
understand
that's
that,
something.
and even right now, illustrators or digital illustrators are not so mainstream. You understand? There are plenty, but they are not plenty. I don't know if you understand what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
So I know of teenagers right now who currently draw, and they're like solid standard. I know of two brothers, the Oluwale brothers. So they draw very well, and I think they're quite young, anyways. So on how we can make it mainstream, the one thing I can think of right now is parents. Like it's technically parents are more exposed to their children. I mean, in terms of maybe like skills and jobs and all of that.
hmm
So if you have a kid who is drawing and who is very keen about maybe a teenager, they're already doing things, you might want to like encourage them and tell them or educate them that this is a possibility. You can actually, because when in schools now, when kids think about what's it called, opportunities or careers,
yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks about graphic design. Even graphic design, I don't think
Nah.
anybody really thinks about it. Or
Yeah,
when I grow up, I want to become a product designer.
exactly.
It's not. We're not there yet. You
Yeah,
understand? So
yeah.
I think it would be parents, family members, to say, "Oh, you can draw. Do you know that you can create animations, create
hmm
comic books, create movies from what you're doing,
Yeah.
and direct them, guide them in that direction." You understand?
hmm
Or reach out to, and I know a couple of parents still do this. They will reach out to artists and say, "Oh, I have a kid. How do I encourage them? How do they grow and all of that?" So I mean, that's what I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. 100%. I totally agree. 100%. We would definitely benefit so much from such guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your process like to come out of art block when you get art block? I mean, this is me already assuming you've had one before.
Please, we all do.
Yeah.
Because I've seen my faves talk about it as well. That I
Mhm.
mean, they have those times when I have an art block.
Yeah.
Ubon, I sleep. Especially when the deadline is not serious. I sleep. And
Yeah.
I once read somewhere sometime, maybe like way back, that when you're experiencing a blocker, when your creative juices are not flowing, that do a lot of research. Maybe like look at a lot of good work or like think about ideas in that direction and then sleep.
Hmm.
that when you sleep, I mean, there's a lot of scientific explanations, but you're more relaxed, and then you can
Yeah.
wake up with maybe fresh ideas or like a fresh perspective on what you need to do. So I mean, specifically to myself, when I'm in an art slump, I sleep, I eat, I try to like relax and do non-art stuff, maybe like see a movie, because i- inspiration comes from, I mean, typically you shouldn't wait for inspiration like motivation, but
Mm-hmm.
in times where you have an art block, so that's when you kind of like need it most. So inspiration often comes in like the most weird places. You're watching a movie, you're eating something, you're talking to someone,
Mm.
you're cooking. That's what you just get the ginger that, oh,
Yeah.
okay, let me do this, let me try this. And then another thing is I talk to my friends. My friends are really cool people. So I talk to my friends, and they always encourage me. They always ginger me, and they're like, what are you saying? This is, you're there. This is
Oh,
so
wow.
good. Like
That's
just a little
great.
bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah.
And sometimes my friends I've got, especially my art friends, Moby and Ellie and
Mm.
Ola Agubiade, they've gone
Yeah.
as far as helping me critique my work, like redrawing it and say, like when I'm working on something, I'm like, oh, this is not making sense, not making sense. They say, oh, no, 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 look at it like this. And they edit it and it just makes sense for me.
Mm.
So yeah, talk to your friends. Have cool people as friends.
That's great. That's great. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
great. Shout out to Lizzie's friends. Shout out to all Lizzie's
yeah,
friends.
my friends.
Who are your art faves?
Our faves.
Yeah.
Okay, in that Twitter thread, I listed a couple of people. I mean,
Mm.
those people that are on Twitter,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
understand, that you could find on Twitter. But I mean, I'll start from the Nigerians that I know. Shout out to
Mhm.
Shegun Samson. Shegun Samson, my G back in the day. Because I knew Shegun in like 2017. Shegun, Olubumi John, and
Mm.
John Zeno. I knew them back in the day, and they were very kind to me because they took a beginner, like nobody, and
Wow.
they were very open, sharing resources, giving me books and all of that.
Mm.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And shout out to Yinari. You know, like you likely have seen Yinari's work already.
Yeah, I have.
It's like an environment painter. But
Hmm.
Yinari is solid, is up there. Then Uzoma Dionko, this very senior man in the digital art space. There's Jeff OEM. I already listed my friends, Moby, LA, Ola Gumbiade, Isaac, out of Isaac. The place people are likely forget, but of course you know Renny K. The
Yes.
Renny K and
Yes.
Adana.
Ah,
Adana,
Dana.
Madam Adana.
Yeah.
Respect to Adana. And uh please nobody should vex for me, oh please
Yeah,
nobody can.
I mean you can't remember everybody, but then
No,
yeah.
but yes. My friend Anu, I don't, he's not on Twitter. Anolo Akosimi, my God, his work is
He's
so
on
good.
Instagram.
Yeah, he's on Instagram.
My
He's not on
goodness, I
Twitter.
know
So
him. He's
most of these people that
exceptional.
I'm listening. Yeah, Anu's work is
Mm.
my God, it's so good.
Mm.
It's really, it's really. Then if you're talking about people like outside Nigeria, TB Choi, I highly rate that woman. She's so good.
Mm.
I don't want to say talented because I know the amount of effort that goes into this. So I say she's
Hmm.
highly skilled. A
Yeah.
lot of these people I've listed, they are skilled. They are talented, yes, but boy, they put in the work. They put in the
Mm.
work. They put in work. So Ramon, I repost all of Ramon's work that I find. Ramon Nunes. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Anybody that I did
Mm.
not call, just how do
Yeah.
they say it? Blame. Don't take it to my heart. Don't blame my heart. Blame my head. My head
Yeah.
didn't remember, but bruh, I rate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Shout
Yeah.
truly shout out to every artist, and this is specifically for digital artists, yes, but every
Mhm.
artist deserves their flowers. Yeah. Even though I didn't
Yes.
make it to the list, but that's fine. Shout out.
But oh yeah,
No,
actually,
that.
illustrator now. Like when I see your work, sorry, I think of you more as a digital illustrator, like vector
Yeah.
illustrations. I,
Yes,
I
I
don't think
am.
I've seen a lot of digital art. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Shout
Yeah.
out to every artist. Actually, you
Mhm.
all deserve your flowers. You truly do.
You
You all
do,
deserve
you
it.
do.
What tools do you
Yes.
use in creating your designs?
So for digital art, I use Procreate
Hmm.
mostly right now, mostly.
Yeah.
But at some point, I was using Photoshop as well with
Mm.
my graphic tablet. For vector illustrations, I use Adobe Illustrator right now. Not see Adobe Illustrator is the goat. I know some of you use Figma, but Adobe Illustrator is the GOAT.
Truly, we are we
Yeah.
are we are we are both on the same team. Adobe Illustrator is
Yeah.
really the greatest of them all. Really,
It
really the
really
greatest of them all.
is.
Your illustrations are vibrant. They are. I mean, I couldn't hold it back. I didn't know. I had to tweet like, who really does
Oh,
that illustration? Who does illustrations for Chowdeck?
my Chowdeck work.
Yes. I mean, it was colorful. It's vibrant, and it's just eye catchy. Your use of colors, they're vibrant. Um,
Thank
I'm
you.
and I'm
Thank
I'm not
you.
trying to pry into the working process of Chowdeck, but do you specifically choose the color choice and specifically colors for your illustrations, or you're clearly following, heavily following brand guidelines for the brand?
No, no, no. I choose the colors for like
Wow,
each illustration.
that's good.
So like the Chowdeck brand system itself, we
Mm-hmm.
have a vibrant array of colors because we are that's it's kind of like how the brand feels itself. We have a vibrant array of colors. So I mean I'm grateful for that because I can choose. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
limited to like a little palette of colors. I have a wide range I can choose from. So yeah, there is that. I mean, and sometimes rules apply
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that so when I was illustrating for our announcement in Ibadan, Ibadan has brown roof
Yes,
or yeah,
yes.
brown roof
Oh
kind
my
of thingy.
goodness, that
Yes, yes.
illustration was kai kai kai. Sorry, go on, go on, go on.
Yes. So when I was choosing, I would have like, oh, is I would have maybe color picked an image from Ibadan or maybe
Mm-hmm.
try to
Yeah.
look for a brown shade. But no, so I looked for a color that was close to it inside the Chowdeck color system.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a vibrant color that works within our system.
Yeah.
You understand? Olumo Rock now that I illustrated for
Mm-hmm.
announcement in Abeokuta.
Yeah.
I had to find something within. It's more purplish. Like
Yes.
the rock is like purplish. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to find that color within our palette. I didn't want to use gray or because that's quite dull. Because I didn't want to use gray for
Mm-hmm.
like rock and
Mm-hmm.
all. I had to find something that had a splash of color in it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I work within the confines of our system, but it's a
Mm.
very large confine,
Mm.
if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. When I saw the announcement for Ibadan, and at first, right, I've actually been to Ibadan, I think twice. I've
Okay.
been to Ibadan twice, and popularly, I think it's called the city of Ban. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when I saw that illustrations, even before I read the caption and all, I just
Mm-hmm.
knew this has to be Ibadan. Like, this is Ibadan.
Yeah.
The illustration
Yeah.
is vibrant. It's just something you would, if you've been to Ibadan before, you would know this is
Mm-hmm.
just it. It's colorful, and this is me giving you more flowers. Your works are
Thank you
amazing.
so much,
Your
Ubo.
works.
Thank you for that tweet as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
It really meant a lot to me. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I appreciate. I appreciate. What's your favorite digital art project, and why would you say, what makes it special to you?
So I can't say that I have a favorite right now.
Mm,
I'm still doing work, if that makes sense. I
mm.
The best is not in the past, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the context of this question, I'm going to try and pick one. So there was this project I did for tired Nigerian artists with a friend of mine.
Mm,
Ademola is also an illustrator. So he worked on the sketches while I worked on like the vector or like the vector or the inking part. It's dear to me because at that point I was nervous
mm.
about doing the work itself. I was nervous about doing the project because I was like, oh, how shall these things be? But at the moment I was like, bruh, this is not hard. It's soft work. And then we got on it together. We did. You can check it out on their Instagram, Tired Nigerian Artists.
Mhm.
So we illustrated portraits of like they interviewed a couple of artists, so we illustrated their portraits and some of the ideas or advice that they shared, which I'll make an illustration for them. So it was was very nice for me because the style that they chose was kind of like all these old illustration from old books. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember Coco Baboni, that book, that
Yes,
kind of
Kokubabun.
illustration.
Yes, the kid
Yeah,
who
so that
was
was
found, whose mom took him from the river.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So that was the kind of style that they wanted, and
Ah,
then
I
we did
see.
that. It was very lovely. So I liked the project. It was very
Ah,
nice.
that's great. That's great. I just gave me some nostalgia feeling with that Kokubabuni.
Yes,
Yes.
I
That's great.
remember the name.
Yeah.
And without a silver spoon,
Without the
that
silver
kind of style.
spoon, cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's really it. Um, I I can do both vector-based illustrations and character design, and I know you also can do
Yes.
both. So, which would prompt me to ask you, which would you prefer to work on and why?
Mm, okay. So at a point in my life, I
Mm-hmm.
think I wanted to like differentiate both, maybe like separate them and
Mm-hmm.
try and choose one. I
Yeah.
think, but right now the headspace I'm at is more of integrating both. I think I said in my tweet that these two styles of illustration, they're different, but they
Mm-hmm.
often intersect.
True.
You understand?
True.
So right now, although I would like to take a more art digital arts kind of project because
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of vector
Vector.
illustration
I see.
based
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I'd want a more digital art focused kind of project.
I
Yeah.
see. I
You've
see.
made me choose between my two children. Wow.
No, you see, when I so I've been drawing since I was like 7, right?
Oh, nice.
And
7. Okay,
uh,
that's primary school too.
yes, primary school. So coming into digital illustrations in the early 2016, there about somewhere within the range, and being introduced to digital tools and the likes, things were
Mm-hmm.
very different. So I dabbled into brand designs. I've worked on a
Yeah.
couple of product design, and I've always had that challenge between just focus on one rather than just
Yeah.
trying to push. So I kind of know the struggle as well. And personally for me, um, I I really personally for me, I enjoy vector illustrations. I don't know why. I just enjoy it. And to me, it's quite rigid, right? Um, compared to character designs, which I believe maybe
Yeah.
because of the software that we use, either Photoshop or Procreate, we have the flexibility to play
Yeah.
around
It's
with
more
tech,
fluid.
yeah, play around with textures and the likes of that. But I think I would want to specialize in vector-based illustrations. But I guess we'll never know. So
Yeah, we'll find
yeah,
out.
we'll
We'll
find
definitely
out.
find.
We'll find out. Are there specific themes that you enjoy exploring in your art?
So right now, it's also a work in progress and it's under development. I say
Mhm.
this because I don't want to sound like I've arrived. I'm still on a very interesting journey. But one theme that I'd like to explore is, how would I put it? I'd like to explore Nigerianness, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. So our own stories, our own perspective. I see it a lot in Mexican themed animation where they explore their food, their
Mhm.
culture. In fact, I know a lot of, not a lot, but I know some Mexican traditions because I've seen movies like Coco, um, Book of Life, Ferdinand. I have an idea of how their architecture is, how
Hmm.
they dress, how their food is, what they celebrate, and all of that. So one thing I'd like to explore is Nigerianness, like the kind of house. Recently, Bolaji Olaloye at NEDX, he drew something. I'm sure you saw it. They drew a compound that
Yeah.
had satellites.
Yes.
Yes, now that's Nigerianness. Everybody
Mhm.
can relate to
Yeah.
that because
Yes.
we likely know a house like that when we're growing up, or they're still around
Yeah.
as well. Think Juliet, um,
Mhm.
Juju girl. She draws like a lot of Nigerian. culture stuff, a lot of things that are nostalgic. Adana also had something like that where she drew like all those water bottles, all those snacks we
Yeah.
ate when we were growing
Yeah.
up. Like that's some see, nobody's going to tell our story as good
Exactly.
as we will tell it. You understand? Nobody's going to
Yeah.
tell it as good as we will tell it. They
Yeah.
would probably leave some things out. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to explore.
It's actually very, very interesting that you mentioned some of these artists. And right, Julie has been on the podcast, Bolaji has been on the podcast, and
Yeah.
conversing with them also on their, specifically Julie, um, about her, the inspiration behind her, the Africanness and the Nigerian kind of illustrations. It's also tailored to what you were saying, telling our stories. It's
Mhm.
truly beautiful to see that artists have such goal, such big dreams to tell our own stories. And there was something that Adaisy said on one of the episode, that nobody would actually tell our story for us if we don't tell our stories. And
Exactly.
it's beautiful to see that illustrators also have that in mind. I really appreciate that. I do. What challenges do you face as a digital artist, and how do you overcome them?
Okay. Challenges, opportunities. I mean, what I currently face now is nothing gang like I don't know. But what I can call a challenge that I currently face right now is maybe time management, if that's a thing. Time management or maybe skill upgrade. Because there's a lot of things to be done. My God.
True, true.
There's a lot of things to be done, a lot of places to be, a lot of things to learn, stories waiting to be told, and then you're just like, where do I start from? Oh,
Hmm.
analysis paralysis, and you don't know where to go next. But I mean, so far, one thing I've done to help myself is one day at a time, poco a poco, little by little. I mean, it's better to get something done than
Done.
to just be
Yeah,
paralyzed and nothing.
yeah.
So yeah, one step at a time, one tutorial at a time, one video at a time, one concept at a time, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's
Yeah.
great. There's a particular question I love to ask illustrators when they come on
Mhm.
the podcast. And specifically within the Nigerian demographic, do you think being an illustrator is enough to get you a job, to get you hired? Do you think is enough?
Hmm. I mean, it depends. So if you're talking about vector illustration now,
Hmm.
it's how do I put this? So recently I was on LinkedIn, I was searching for like illustrator job opportunities, like, oh, let me even see what's happening. There's always hiring.
Hmm.
And I noticed that most of the opportunities there have graphic designer slash illustrator. Maybe people are not publicly hiring just illustrators, but I feel like this is something that's going to change soon. It's because the illustrator space is one that is growing, is one that is young, really. But I feel like soon enough, people are going to start seeing the need for illustrators in their company. We already have companies like Chowdeck,
Yeah.
PDVest, Mono, where else that I can think of, right? Carrywise. I already have a defined illustration system, and
Hmm.
very soon, other companies too will adapt it, and they'll see the need for someone to continue that consistent brand look. You understand?
Yes.
I mean, in no time, it's going to happen. Really.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like I mean it's been enough. It's enough quite literally. But I
mhm,
mean you have to put yourself out there, share your
yeah.
work, talk to people, apply to places. But yeah.
Mhm. Thank you very much for that particular answer. And the reason I really love to ask illustrators this question is to encourage aspiring illustrators, because I think you also would have probably heard it from someone who is aspiring to, you know, ply the parts of illustrations.
Yeah,
There's
on this question
yeah,
as well. Sorry to interrupt,
no,
L1. I
yeah,
realized that I didn't answer for like digital art.
okay,
It's also enough in the sense that people may not know, but we have studios in Nigeria who are
mm-hmm.
currently creating animations like proper animation
Yeah,
movies, some award winning. I know there's Basement and there's Magic Carpet.
mm-hmm.
So there are places that actually hire digital artists.
Yeah,
Then if you are not the studio kind, there are people who also hire for like art covers, or what's it called, music
music
album
art,
covers,
yes,
book covers, merch designs. It's and the list is endless and limitless. Just don't put yourself in a box. Don't limit yourself, really. It's there's there's nowhere you
mm-hmm.
can work.
Yeah, yeah,
There's nowhere that is too big or too high.
true.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Thank you. Like I was also saying, the reason why I love to ask this particular question is because for the people who have been privileged to teach illustrations and all, sometimes along the line they feel illustrators are the least on the food chain when it comes to
Mm.
hiring within the design ecosystem. So why do I even, but even though I have the passion for it, why should I bother to pursue a career path in it? And it's good to hear from um, leaders like Liz, who currently work as an illustrator also in a very outstanding company, and saying it's actually enough and don't put yourself in that box. There's more that can be explored because I mean I remember when I went to UDC and I said illustrators are the least on the food chain, and Rog the goat spoke next after me, and he said actually animators are the least on the food chain. And and I'm sure if a brand designer comes up, someone would also say they are the, so it's just that. And one thing I see from that is that the hiring process may be hard for every niche, but being an illustrator, you know, there's a lot more we can all get from that. So thank you very much, Liz, for
Mm-hmm.
that answer. I really
It's my
appreciate
pleasure.
it. Yeah. How do you see digital arts industry evolving? What trends do you find that are quite interesting to you?
So one thing I can think of right now is I think there'll be a lot more short films. I know people a lot they're currently how do I put people who put out like animation work. I know
Hmm.
there's Israel Obashala, I know there's Jude. There is this guy, Kinetic. I really like Kinetic's
Oh, I
work.
love Kinetics
So there'll
project.
be a lot more um short films, people putting out a lot more like finished work, a lot more storytelling.
Mm.
One trend that I've seen and I like is I think generally in the animation industry, like globally, there's a lot of movement towards 3D animation, which is not bad. That's cool. I mean, I like 2D animation a lot, but there's a lot of movement towards 3D. But then there are people who continue to do stop motion. Now, those people have my heart. That's so cool. That's so good. But see, the future is the future. I don't think I can like
Hmm.
accurately predict what's going to happen, but I mean that's something I think will happen. Yeah, especially in Nigeria because we're growing
Mm.
and we have to tell our own stories, and so we
Yeah,
have to get up. We're going to get there. So that
yeah,
is it.
yeah, true. A follow-up question to that would be, what do you think about AI arts with the fast rise of
Uh,
AI?
I mean, I haven't really like spoken about this. I guess I wasn't expect. Maybe I was expecting. Maybe so. Um, One thing I can say for starters is yes, technological advancements happen, but if it's going to happen at the risk of scrubbing off people's work without direct credit or like remuneration to them, then that's not cool. I don't know if you get me.
Hmm.
Say there's an artist, you like their style. Normally you would commission them to do the work for you, but
Yeah,
now you have a system that scrubs off their style and they don't get paid for it or they don't get acknowledged for it, but you maybe like pay or it's even free to you, then that's not cool. I don't know if you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
So right now, I think there should be no, I think there should be regulations for it because I mean we can't say technology should not advance. Definitely, we advance will be useful in some places, but you can't like take people's work The one I can think of most recently is this guy. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. But he's Asian and he died recently. Kim Jong Hee, and then somebody took his work and uploaded it to like an AI platform so that like people could continue to generate work in his style.
Wow.
That's not cool. That's not cool. It's literally robbing people and robbing artists
Mhm.
and all. So yeah, regulations, really, regulations for use and for implementation. I mean, that's what I think about it. I think that artists should be given, how do I put it, opportunities to like do their work without fear of like their work being stolen. Normally before AI, we had to fight with people, copyright, where
Yeah.
people would take your
Yeah.
work, put their signature, and say
Mhm.
it's their own. Now they are completely taking up your style and your work and saying everybody in the world can use it. That's not fair. That's not good. That's not something that is cool. Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
my thoughts are not completely put together on it, but I mean, this is the least I think. It should be regulated. It should definitely be. If the AI is going to come up with his own style or how to draw, fine,
Uh-huh.
but don't steal people's work and then
And
say, "Oh, I
mhm.
used AI." Bruh, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something that trended a couple of days ago at the time of this recording was one particular
Company that
yes.
you to
Okay,
advertise
yeah, exactly.
advertise
So you
goods
saw,
like
I mean,
digital
it
art.
was all over the place. It
That.
was,
That's not. That's not. I mean, one thing that broke my heart is I saw a digital artist say that she was quitting because I mean she doesn't
wow,
think that there's a fighting chance, so she's quitting digital art. I
wow,
mean that hurts. She
wow.
said she's going to continue traditional art. You understand?
Yeah.
Because there are entertainment companies now. You're using AI art. There are and now a company whose
Ah,
audience, whose target
90%.
audience
If we're not exaggerating,
maybe
ninety
for the
percent.
photographers
Oh
use
my.
their tool to you understand it's digital
Mm-hmm.
art and you typically they would hire digital artists to do an illustration
Yeah.
for announcements, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And Photoshop has something like that, Adobe Illustrator has something like that where
Yes.
they
Yes.
would put your work when the page is loading, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
But then, like how much did they save?
I
Was it worth
mean,
it? I
it's
mean, that was nuts. That was nuts.
wow.
A friend of mine, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday about maybe recommending tools for artists, and I specifically did not mention them. That's not cool. Yeah.
Yeah, funnily enough, I've never used their product before, and I don't know, I've never liked it because coming into digital art,
No, they were like
I
top
know, I know,
recommended.
of course, I
Yeah.
know. I've always been a Huyon fan, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who knows tomorrow what will happen? But then currently, this they are still in our good books. But I've always been a Huyon fan from all the digital tablets I've gotten. But
Mhm.
the reason why I've just never looked at their site was because of how quote unquote overhyped I felt digital artists talk about their product. I just felt it
Yeah.
was
And it's
just too
also on the
overhyped.
expensive side.
Yes.
It's also
So I was
on the
like, you know
expensive side.
what? Nah. And now seeing this, okay, let's it's just sad. It's really
When,
sad.
when you see somebody's village people is following them, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really rooting that digital art indeed specifically again within the Nigerian demographic um gain that ground within Africa as a whole, not just Nigeria, but Africa as a whole, that it launches into mainstream. Of course, we know we're still coming up and we're still going to, we're going to be very uh, tender with the process and all, but we can only imagine the best. We can only think for the best. Okay, this has
Yeah.
actually been very, very educative for me. I actually take notes and my notes are piling up, taking notes. So
That's cool.
I definitely would want to say, what are your closing thoughts? I want you to drop an advice for aspiring digital artists, illustrators, those who are coming into this space, or even some who are already in the space but they are discouraged for whatever reasons that are very valid. What advice would you give to aspiring and also discouraged artists?
I remember there was one time where I was unsure of my footing in art, and I felt like there was so much to be learned, and I barely started. And a friend of mine sent me this video from, wow, I can't remember her name, but she's a digital artist. I think maybe like Carla Ortiz. Okay, so she said that one time she wanted to give up on art, and she was talking to her dad, and her dad told her that you are not an artist unless you wanted to give up at least once. So this is what I'm going to say. For people who are distracted for one reason or the other, whether technological advancements or whether because there's no time or because expenses, talk to people. And I feel like generally the digital art industry, at least the people that I know, they're very warm and cool. I remember also when I talked to Irene Care one time that, oh, I need advice, I need critique. And then she was like, yeah, sure, I got you. And she critiqued my work, showed me areas for improvement. So yeah, talk to people. I think the digital art community is pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope you have advice that I hope you see something that's useful for you to pick up in this. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much for that advice. And yeah, it's really truly been a pleasure conversing with you on digital illustrations in this on this very episode. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you so much for having me. I have not spoken on anything in a while because I've been hiding. But yeah, thank you for inviting me to this.
Thank you for listening to this episode on the Designstration podcast with Ufot Ubon. If you enjoyed this episode, kindly leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. You can also suggest a topic or ask a question by filling out the form in the description below. We also appreciate when you share this podcast with friends and other creatives, even as you make plans to join us again next time as we bring you more insightful conversations like this. Design plus illustration equals Designstration.